Well, two things. First, that the 21st century will be a contest for supremacy in the Pacific, because that's where the growth will be. That's where the bulk of the economic strength of the globe will come from. Now, if you do not hold your ground in the Pacific, you cannot be a world leader. The world leader must hold his ground in the Pacific. That's number one. Number two, to hold that ground in the Pacific, you must not let your fiscal deficits and your dollar come to grief. If it comes to grief in the short term, and there's a run on the dollar for whatever reason, because your deficits are too big and the financial community, the bankers and all the hedge funds and everybody come to a conclusion that you're not going to tackle these deficits, and they begin to move their assets out, that's real trouble.
And there is a risk of that perception today.
Absolutely. Yes. And Ben Bernanke knows that. And he's got somehow or the other to clean up and soak up the liquidity. But if he does it too soon, you get into another recession. But you cannot build up enormous deficits that allows all the, and do nothing about it, and people say, oh, well, this is hopeless.
Yeah. There's always a treasury, there's always a Federal Reserve, they'll make more money.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
They just print more money.
They will print more money, exactly. Yeah. There's a difference.
Yeah.
So the deficits, the looming deficit of the United States is what worries you the most, because it will strike at the heart of the U.S. global leadership.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The Chinese economy is nothing compared to the American economy.
Because the base is different.
Once you're stabilized. Right. But what the world wants to know, or what the thinking part of the banking and financial world wants to know, is that the Americans, the administration and the Congress, both Republicans and Democrats, have the will to take tough measures to put this right. Even if it's not going to be done overnight, but it is moving in that direction. It was going to put it right.
Okay, how do they do that?
You've created all these needs. I mean, you take healthcare. It's not going to be done at the same price, surely. I mean, you're covering 40 million extra people. So where's the money coming from? Now, if the world sees that you're not making any provisions for that, you're not letting it go, and it says, wow, this looks as if the elected leaders have lost their will to confront the people with the truth.
Is it more the Congress than the president?
Both. Both, I would say.
Are you confident that the United States will do something about its deficit, which is at $1.3 trillion for the last?
Well, if I'm not confident, and I have no hope of that, I wouldn't be here.
And the United States has to encourage them?
No, you don't have to encourage them. You just got to understand that they don't want to be an honorary member of the West, unlike Russia. They're quite happy to be Chinese and to remain as such. So when you tell them you ought to do this, you ought to do that, they say, yes, thank you. And in the back of their minds, we have lasted 5,000 years, have you? That Beijing Olympics, if you watch it, what was the message?
We're back.
No, 5,000 years. And don't forget, we invented all these things. And we're going to go ahead in the next 5,000 years. It's the only country where a language has survived 5,000 years. The only country where the present generation shares the same basic thinking as the past. And they're very proud of it. I mean, you read Hu Jintao's speech on the 60th anniversary. I mean, it's all translated on the web.
No.
What is it? We have 5,000 years of civilization. We are going to get there. And it's a rousing speech. It may take us a long time. You're going to work very hard. We will do it. That's their mood, so you don't have to encourage them. What you got to get them to understand is, with it goes responsibility. Hungry Africans, hungry, sick other people. This is a global problem. You can't just take copper and gold and to hell with it. You got to have a responsibility for the people whose copper and gold you're mining. It goes with the job. And they will have to learn that. I think they're already beginning to learn that, so they're giving something back.
It's a pleasure to talk to you again, as always.